Previously on the President's assignment.
This off and on, off and on, off and on. It's spoiling electrical appliances.
In phase 1 of our documentary, we saw how ECG officials stole and sold meters whilst exploring the underground world of meter tampering with collusion on the part of ECG officials, individuals and businesses. In this edition, we are going to dive into the meter acquisition process, company indebtedness and closed accounts, the ECG MasterCard and the cables master, the World Bank Get Up episode. Sit on tight, it certainly is a story worth telling. From top to bottom, the meter acquisition process is fraught with corruption. It starts with the purchase of a 2 Ghana cedi form, which is usually hassle-free, but opens the door to varying levels of money-taking by employees of ECG. After these forms have been filled, registering and submitting it costs at least a 5 Ghana cedi bribe. Watch how this woman does it. And after she realizes the form are 2, what does she do? Demands back her bribe, of course. After, a customer is assigned an estimator who is supposed to inspect the premises where power is to be supplied and to report to the district technical officers, DTOs. However, depending on how urgent a customer needs a meter fixed, he or she has the option of transporting the estimator to their facility and paying them a fee at the end of the inspection. Failure to pay them would mean that they would either find some flimsy excuses for which your premises is not fit to be supplied with power, or they may discard your forms. The DTO then prepares a quotation to be paid by a customer, then forwards it to be signed by the district's manager, at which stage the meter release has been authorized, subject to the payment of the quotation receipt. Here again, DTOs have often demanded bribes to release quotations to customers. Many DTOs till date are in the habit of hoarding quotations till customers pay different bribe amounts before releasing them. The money-taking acumen of most DTOs extended as far as taking bribes called crouch from ECG contractors in order to speed work on quotations that these contractors submit to them. In the particular case we stumbled upon, this DTO is seen demanding bribe from a contractor. He is head one in the contractor if he fails to give him the crouch. The district's managers are not left out of the corruption net. They would, however, not take bribes for single or separate meters. They take bigger bribes that have to do with CT meter connections, transformers, district-level ECG contract awards, and massive cable theft deals. We are still tailing a number of them and would tell their story soon.
It is the staff of ECG who are profiting of the bad system. If it were a private company, the heads there will lose their jobs.
The official meter fee we discovered at the 5 branches where we operated ranged between 80.50 Ghana cedis and 92.50 for a single phase meter, and 170 Ghana cedis and 185 for a 3-phase meter. Fraudulent illegal fees charged by the Goro boys when purchasing a single phase meter, however, costs between 250 Ghana cedis and 650, whereas a 3-phase meter is likely to cost you between 800 and 1,500 Ghana cedis. The fees for the individual branches are listed below. new service connection has to do with power supply into facilities with no existing meter. Their prices are hardly fixed because they are subject to the estimates of quotation, which includes a key factor as the length of wire to be used for drawing power from the electric pole to the facility. ECG as an entity reserves the rights to disconnect power supply based on several reasons, the most pressing being non-payment of bills until such a time that part of the debt in that account is settled as per ECG's payment plan. If a customer does not settle his bills for 3 months, the company can go a step further to take off the meter from the premises. On the flip side, what we discovered was collusion on the part of ECG officials and customers to rip the nation off. A typical case in point is of this house that had a meter taking off after an illegality was detected by an ECG monitoring team. The monitoring team official rightfully takes off the meter, but just as we are about to applaud him, he negotiates a settlement with owners of the facility and agreed to allow the household plus the adjoining sachet water company to continue operating. This was after owners of the premises had negotiated and paid an agreed sum that started from 50,000 to 5,000 and down to 1,000 Ghana cedis. The money was paid in cash to the particular official right in front of the ECG Tema North branch. So the meter was back in business. Another striking feature we noticed, especially at the Tema South branch, which resonates across all the other branches, are the accumulation of faulty meters, which are left to the mercy of the weather, the reason being that the ECG engineers cannot repair them. Meanwhile, some of the Goro boys have a technical know-how of repairing these faulty meters. Under the circumstances, they steal it at any least opportunity and repair them before selling them to customers for huge sums of money. So, who should be responsible for their repairs, ECG or the manufacturers?
Based on the contract that is signed, in most of the cases, we have the warranty for them for 24 or 12 months as per what is in the contract. So if the contract requires that within the period of the warranty, we work on it. When there's a problem, all they do is to bring it to us and then we work it out for them. I mean, if it requires a repair, we do. If it requires a replacement, we do. So because it's a warranty, you have to cater for it as a whole. But after the period of the warranty, then if there's a need for any other work, that's when we agree. But as happened now, what's happening is that we don't have any maintenance agreement with ECG. So for all since 2005, when we started the pre-payment projects, all maintenance we do, all repair works we do are free to ECG.
Onto the ECG MasterCard. The ECG MasterCard, also known as parameter cards, are like the normal prepaid cards, but with an extra function of putting the meter on at installation, initialization, and restoration of power. So critical a card is it that, ideally, only prepaid engineers and officials of the faults unit are supposed to possess them. Sadly, they have found their way in wrongful custody of the officials and Goro boys who use these cards and charge customers money. Some have gone as far as to sell these cards to individuals. This we know for a fact, considering that after weeks of negotiations and renegotiations, Tiger Eye succeeded in buying a MasterCard for 1,200 Ghana cedis from a Goro boy who refused flatly to tell us who his boss within the ECG was.
This thing, they need a delay. If you because the team will Aremeyaw
you never go there to go and suffer to gain people for
by they call me money that. But when I tell you something concerning it, because no, I do. Have you yourself, you know everything. So tell her everything. I don't make her take trouble inside. Everything will be different. So I have to give you. Maybe they are trying me too. But I tell you, it's a 2-in-1.
2-in-1. But single face and double face. 3 face.
At the card, I beg you, make it not take go to any bad thing.
Oh, no. I know they use some good bad thing.
See you then it would because if he makes her then find trouble with me. Because I go tell her say I know mercy the person named Ivan, but I tell her say the person is my friend. See, the way they warn me, they talk me say so I beg.
Oh no, I never told you that.
At our next meeting, the card was delivered after we had paid the balance as agreed. The World Bank Get Up episode. What at all, you may ask, is the word Get Up?
Get Up is actually an abbreviation of Ghana Energy Development and Access Project. This is a very large project that the World Bank and other aid donors have been working on with mainly ECG, but to some extent also ERA and the Ministry of Energy since 2006, and it's for about $250 million. And the money is used for things like improving the quality of service in areas where the network is overloaded, replacing obsolete equipment, and extending the network and the grid into places where there's no service, where new areas have come up, new houses, new developments, which is going on all the time around all the towns and cities in Ghana, improving ECG's network, which is by far the biggest and the most important in Ghana. Out of that $70 million, about $30 million is for a large stock of latest state-of-the-art meters which are tamper-proof.
The World Bank, as a financial partner of the government of Ghana, had since 2006 voted an amount of $250 million for the ECG. The bulk sum was to be split under Get Up 1, estimated to cost $171 million, and Get Up 2 at a cost of $70 million. Get Up 1 at our last check had been successfully executed by the ECG in sectors like corporate strengthening, system upgrade, commercial and technical capacity upgrade, intensification of existing distribution networks, and grid extension in 6 regions. Get Up 2, however, was aimed at capacity expansion and network improvement and institutional development. Under institutional development of Get Up 2, $27.7 million was allocated to replacement of credit meters with split-type prepaid meters in the Ashanti region. So, what exactly are the World Bank's plans and projections relative to Get Up 2, specifically with the replacement of meters?
In Ashanti region, the losses are the worst. Collusion and theft, power by consumers. We are working with them on a package of things, as kind of an integrated approach to tackle the problems in an intensive way in Ashanti region.
Electrometer Company Limited, GEM, and the Egyptian partners introduced the eCash 1 and eCash 2 meters that have proven problematic, and some industry experts say have not worked up to expectation.
The friend that is to me, man, Baba Day. Over here is still problem. My friend for several times on Mama.
Sell the product to them. We are done, more or less, not entirely done. We do maintenance and all that.
However, these are questions in need of answers. Did Ghana have to accept the eCash module of meters? Was anyone in a hurry to sign the eCash contract? The erstwhile board's insistence to award the Ashanti West metering contract with the funds coming from an outside party means the World Bank might theoretically withdraw their monies in that respect.
In the legal agreement between Ghana and the World Bank, it is very clearly stated that the bank reserves the right to suspend its funding in the event of mismanagement or other things which we deem to be a danger to the success of the project.
The list of companies and individuals owing the ECG was unacceptable, to say the least. Companies owed the ECG so much that one wonders why the artisan, corn miller, tailor and hairdresser, who owe as low as 20 Ghana cedis, have to suffer power disconnection. The figures we bumped into upon entry into the countrywide ECG system pointed to the fact that the ECG would with no doubt be a profitable state institution if the company was proactive in its debt collection. Special load tariff customers are entities whose power load exceeds a certain threshold, for which reason ECG gives them special meters known as current transformer meters. We have figures from all ECG operational regions, but our defaulted spotlight shall be on 5 key ECG areas: Accra East, Accra West, Tema, Western and Ashanti West regions. We bring you figures of debtors as at November 2011. All those disputing the figures can check in the ECG's hard room. At the end of our strenuous analysis of the horrible figures, we realized that over 1,000 private companies and state enterprises owe the ECG in excess of some 460 million Ghana cedis, which is 4 trillion and 6 billion cedis of power used, but regrettably unpaid for. From what we gathered in the field, Tiger Eye brings to the fore the list of companies and state institutions that have used power but failed to pay for the resource. For purposes of easy grasp of what clearly is an interesting list of ECG debtors, we categorize them under the following: the high-ranking hospitality outfits, top shots within corporate Ghana, high-flying members of financial institutions, the eminent telecommunication companies, grocery establishments, state enterprises, the indebted academic institutions, and of course, the patriotic entities who have paid their bills. Sit on tight. Are the hospitality defaulters. 22 members of the hospitality industry owe the ECG in all 5 regions under the purview of our analysis. Here, they owed the alien ECG varying amounts that added up to some 1,768,210.56 pesos. From the executive suites of that multinational hotel down to the not too expensive local hotel, guest house, lodge, inn, and more, a critical utility as electricity was being used without it being paid for. La Palm Royal Beach, with their uniquely golden and traditionally Ghanaian label, owed a power debt of some 238,621.89 pesos. Golden Tulip Hotels, with all their worldwide hospitality tag, had paid up in Accra East, yet owed power bills of 155,078 Ghana cedis, 85 pesos, at the Akumasi City branch in the Ashanti West region. Still in the region, and with the guarantee of a real welcome away from home, Makeling Hotel certainly did not welcome their power debts of 29,497 cedis and 14 pesos. Shangri-La Hotel and its African experience still had power bills of 33,855 Ghana cedis and 9 pesos yet to be settled. If Kingsby Hotel treats ECG debts of 11,667 Ghana cedis, 16 pesos with a traditional royal touch they promise their patrons, the ailment of the utility provider should be assuaged to a large extent. We are traditionally friendly, they say, but Hotel Wangara's 24,000 917 Ghana cedis, 34 pesos indebtedness was miles away from a friendly play with the ECG. Same was the case with Rainbow Hotel, who owed 26,512 Ghana cedis and 4 pesos with all their elegant luxury tag in the western region. Tema's Premier Hotel, Hotel Aremeyaw, were indebted to the fine tune of 29,042 cedis, 57 pesos. Cocoa Beach Hotel joined the list with 26,321 Ghana cedis, 95 pesos, as did fellow Tema-based outfit Enjoy Hotel. Despite promising the best of all worlds, they were saddled by a debt of 26,024 cedis, 57 pesos. Still in Tema, Royal Vehicle Hotel failed to put a touch of royalty to their debts, and by that showcased their unwillingness to pay their mountain power debts that had reached 85,091 cedis, 62 pesos as at November 2011. Welcome to the Premier Life is tagline for Best Western Premier Hotel, but they do not seem to have welcomed ECG's debts in excess of 77,842 cedis and 24 pesos. The affluent Mervyn Peak Ambassador Hotel, with their passionately Swiss tagline, perhaps forgot to be passionately patriotic to Ghana by owing power debt of 577,631 cedis, 7 pesos. With a 212,523 cedis, 47 pesos debt, Alisa Hotel was in the porridge, as was Sana Lodge Hotel with a debt of 31,976 cedis and 66 pesos, stationed in ECG's Accra West region. Other debtors included GS Hotel, 38,083 cedis, 70 pesos, Ascension Hotel, East Legon, 54,361 cedis and 82 pesos, Caldwell Limited Hotel, 77,496 cedis, 16 pesos, Chase Restaurant owed 27,039 cedis, 29 pesos. Completing the maze was VVIP, indebted to the tune of 39,184 cedis, 10 pesos. Interestingly, all these hotels charge their customers rates in which they embed the power components which customers must settle on entry or before exit of the facility. Frankie's Limited, 53,347 cedis, 33 pesos, and the sumptuous ice cream did not look good as a popular food joint with branches in the capital stood accused. So did the Ghana Food Court, sinking in debts of 35,185 cedis, 60 pesos. And now, the financial institution defaulters. These are institutions that deal with finance, which the ECG badly needs. In order to protect their money, they request for collateral before granting loans. Yet, some of them owed power supply as at November 2011. We guess they don't believe the ECG needs its money. Outfits in 3 ECG regions, Accra East, Accra West and Tema, had yet to settle whopping sums in power debts to the ECG. Grave defaulters who popped up in all the 3 regions were the Pan-African Bank, EcoBank, whose total power debts added up to 320,275 cedis and 56 pesos. Societe Generale, Social Security Bank, SGSSB, refused to be left out of the list with 63,601 cedis. Leading loans company Unique Trust Financial Services promised a loan in 48 hours to customers, but had forgotten to pay debts in one of their 2 accounts. We hope they pay the ECG their outstanding debt of 30,597 cedis within 48 hours. Providence Insurance defaulted in bill payment to the tune of 20,408 cedis, 28 pesos. The state-owned Ghana Commercial Bank, GCB, served its customers better than the ECG with debts of 68,455 cedis, 96 pesos. And now, we present the list of telco defaulters. The indebtedness of telecom companies is surprising, considering the amount of funds that they have and continuously pump into pageantry, musical shows, and other media-related exploits, perhaps in the light of gaining mileage within the populace. Certainly, settling their power debts, which are a small fraction of their budgetary allocations for the many entertainment and sports programs that they sponsor, would be most welcomed by an ECG that is badly in need of money to serve small-scale businesses and homes.
Their icon price, a recording contract, a 4-wheel drive with a group, 20,000 Ghana cedis for each girl.
Ghana Telecom, now Vodafone, on analysis, were unmatched in the accumulated debt profile.
All right, I'm back again. You know what time it is? Straight up. All right, what's up? Listen. About him and that came and Missy Michelle, she been a froze, who wink in a Wakuma to kill me, young Mimbuna, and with Simba reason at the real day, Juma, or Piebo, what did that dear Quechima, what a Tama, Tamafahin, Tibunima, the Mamma dear, Nepa Pasukrapoma, and yes, a million home be poor Biasoma. I shall win up about the young Conqua, just some pipe, a few rice, one genoa, but Tamabuano, Mini Bin Timamua, one on Jamabakari, eh, Billy Patakwa,
the company owed in all 5 regions, in some cases in multiple accounts. Their total debt stood at 886,814 cedis, 15 pesos. With 5 accounts in Accra East, Vodafone had accrued as much as 593,813 cedis, 16 pesos in debts, followed by 111,073 cedis, 82 pesos debts in Ashanti West. Their debt for Western, Accra West, and Tema were 41,442 cedis, 72 pesos, and 49,078 cedis, 55 pesos respectively. Whilst Vodafone fails to settle its power bills, it splashes cash on a program like Vodafone Icons, as Mother Ghana awaits her trapped funds to help the rural poor who hardly know anything about Vodafone's icons. Clearly, Vodafone had failed to get on board ECG's debt payment train and had failed woefully to apply their infamous tagline, "Hard to you," to their power debts owed ECG and the nation for that matter, a whopping 886 cedis, 514,015 pesos yet to hit ECG accounts. We hope it would be ECG's time for payment very soon.
They all wanna learn how to do this, so I'ma take you right through this. As on to dance is the movement, so when you jump on the floor, better use it. First step is a step, you can move to the right, to the left, you can even freestyle when you step, put your hands in the air, then you rep, so go, twist your fingers, you can.
Next to follow Vodafone was the Yellow MTN Battalion. With an estimated 10 million customers, MTN looked to have concerned themselves more with making the next million customers rather than paying for the power on which their machines were running. They were grave defaulters in 3 regions: Accra West, Kumasi West, and in Tema, with 115,998 cedis, 29 pesos owed in Accra West, 161,839 cedis, 89 pesos in Kumasi West, and a fine Tema debt standing firmly at 71,973 cedis and 1 pesos. The Everywhere You Go team debts totaled in excess of some 349,811 cedis, 19 pesos. Although yet to launch their operations in the country, Ghana's 6th and last telecom network, Africa's fastest growing network, Glo Communications.
Your world is about to change like never before.
And their Rule Your World tagline may not have reigned as the most indebted telco, but managed a third spot with 176,293 cities, 96 pesos hanging around their neck in Accra West.
Bye.
So today you spoke for only 2 hours.
It was a wrong number.
Kasapa.
Now Expresso had 2 accounts in Accra East and Accra West, totaling 98,213 cities, 64 pesos, and yet we are encouraged to dare to dream. Its debt was, however, no match for the single account of 154,562 cities owed by Millicom Ghana, operatives of the Tigo Express Self Platoon in Accra West. Zain, now Airtel, had paid up their bills in their regions but had forgotten to settle one account in Ashanti West. 63,232 cities, 48 pesos, being the lowest amount that a telco was owing to the power supply outfit. For these companies, what mattered was the battle for superiority relative to who had more subscribers and how many programs, events, promotions and TV commercials they could roll out. With that entire media blitz, ECG was the last entity they endeavored to consider. How can we build a country like this? If we all decide to contribute our quota by paying our taxes and bills, the poverty in Mother Ghana would be minimized within the shortest possible time. Grocery and corporate Ghana defaulters. The infamous Max Mart stores still had debts yet to be cleared in one of their 2 accounts, the figure to be paid being 47,832 cities, 74 pesos. Yet, they have the luxury to put up a car's price or a buy more sales promotion, a car whose price could pay their debt and leave them with some change. ShopRite is ahead of them at ECG with debts of 52,577 cities, 20 pesos. Malcolm is in the pack in Ashanti West at 13,941 cities, 73 pesos. Depending on where you are coming from, they are at the entry or exit of the buzzing Osu Oxford Street. They pride themselves as an outlet that was catering for the needs of Ghanaians and expatriates. Yet, Kuala Shopping Mall also owed some 63,301 cities, 80 pesos. Here, we present to you perhaps the juiciest component of the debtors brigade. In here is a mixed bag of some key corporate defaulters owing the ECG. The candidates herein are mind-boggling, interesting and funny if you like. The infamous Aremeyaw House owes 24,117 cities, 76 pesos. Their close neighbors with their unique architectural design, Silver Star Towers, 77,920 cities, 4 pesos, were also indebted to the ECG. Does it have to take them as long as 1,000 years for the Millennium Heights to settle a debt of 31,434 cities, 93 pesos? Is it that ECG officials are not interested in pursuing them? Completing the maze, if you will, is the Premier Towers with mountain debts of 218,865 cities, 47 pesos. Jandor Cosmetics, who pride themselves as the leaders in the cosmetic market, would not lead the crusade to pay ECG's debt of 162,670 cedis, 82 pesos. We print, says Camelot Ghana. Beyond printing, they forgot to pay debts of some 21,713 cedis and 1 peso. Telecash Ghana owes 45,801 cedis, 61 pesos. Polyprint had not paid up for power of 171,698 cedis, 82 pesos they used to produce their quality products. A similar story was observed of Poly Group, which is indebted to the tune of 139,403 cedis, 51 pesos. Polyton Ghana Limited owed the ECG 151,637 cedis, 6 pesos. Latest Former Next could offer its patrons partnership for life, yet they would not partner ECG in debt payment. 26,168 cedis, 75 pesos for life. Multinational giants, Lever Brothers, were ready to create a better future daily for its many customers, but failed woefully to pay ECG 908,599 cedis, 34 pesos in ever-growing trapped power cash. Super Paper Products Company, SPPC, was in there with 534,868 cedis, 5 pesos. Air Liquide, 120,272 cedis, 74 pesos. Patrons of Lifestyle Gallery paid for their stylish furniture, but the outfit failed to pay ECG 19,780 cedis, 60 pesos. Vienna City, an entertainment hub, owed 44,435 cedis, 14 pesos. So did Icon Printing, who perhaps forgot that ECG did not print currency but needed their 30,990 cedis, 51 pesos. Leroy Cables had 83,121 cedis, 11 pesos of ECG's money with them. They all stand accused in ECG's court of indebted companies. Drug manufacturing giants, NS Chemists, have to cure their debts of 58,874 cedis, 38 pesos. Joining it, Dampon Pharmacy, who owed 14,824 cedis, 47 pesos, and were given ECG bitter pills to swallow by their defaulting status. Importers of frozen poultry and meat products, Sevista, were also inside the soup, with the Swankey Institute of Physicians and Surgeons was indebted to the tune of 208,266 cedis, 73 pesos. Syntex Plastic Factory admits in their tagline, "We are regularly selling," but as per their power debts of 103,702 cedis, 89 pesos, we contend they are not regularly paying. Other entities who owed were Osu Entertainment Center, 20,972 cedis, 62 pesos. Checkpoint Ghana, 88,608 cedis, 38 pesos. E-Process International owed 125,010 cedis, whilst a whole Accra International Conference Center owed 491,769 cedis, 78 pesos. Airways Catering owed 108,806 cedis, 29 pesos. Did the United Nations Development Program forget to pay the bill? We ask because they owe 181,477 cedis, 49 pesos. Do you know what this money can do for places like Bimbila, Bole and Choco? In the Western region, John Bitar Company, with 5 accounts, had defaulted to the tune of 2,436,640 cedis, 24 pesos, but were upstaged by Chirano Gold Mines, whose twin accounts had given birth to 5,222,524 cedis, 90 pesos. Noble Gold Ibiani 1,571,140 cedis, 32 pesos. Ever Pure Water, producers of bottled mineral water, had yet to settle the ECG to the tune of some 15,111 cedis, 48 pesos. The bulk oil supply 75,686 cedis, 11 pesos. The Bator Catholic Church owes 111,015 cedis. Academic defaulters. It's quite interesting that the public universities, for all the monies that they charge students in lieu of facility user fees, which have electricity bills incorporated into them, owed the ECG big time. Perhaps, in living up to their premier university tag, Legon scored first-class honors and wore academic debtors' gown with a whopping debt of 4,388,500 cedis, 63 pesos. University of Science and Technology, try as they did, lagged behind the front runner with a second APA of 2,981,228 cedis, 93 pesos. Then came the University of Cape Coast, who were too busy learning and forgot to settle 1,871,566 cedis, 40 peso debt, and by that chalked the second class lower. Accra Polytechnic showed why the HND certificate was worthy on the job market with 1,116,958 cedis, 78 pesos, certainly being a strong showing. Now, the school stationed on Green Hill near Legon, aka the Ghana Institute of Management and Professional Administration, GIMPA, were indebted in two accounts adding up to 146,707 cedis, 44 pesos. Fees for a few students perhaps. The Takwa School of Mines dug deep down the earth with two accounts which totaled 339,646 cedis, 10 pesos. The University of Education Winneba also owed ECG some 240,776 cedis, 42 pesos. The remaining institutions were Institute of Professional Studies IPS 231,032 cedis, 1 peso. The Presbyterian Boys Senior High School 165,976 cedis, 26 pesos. Kumasi Technical Institute 102,044 cedis, 6 pesos. The Pentecost University College, for all the fees they charge students, still had power debt to settle. It is 46,533 cedis, 37 pesos. SOS College owed 27,929 cedis, 36 pesos. Where at all did the facility user fees of these institutions go? It must be found out and given to the ECG as soon as possible. Industrial defaulters. The instance of multiple accounts was a prominent feature, especially in Tema in the Western region, as a result of the heavy industrial nature of Tema and the fact that the Western region was home to several wood processing companies and mines. Relative to the industrial defaulters, majority of who were stationed in Tema and the Western region, we collated as many as 91 entities. Some with as many as 5 accounts had grossed 21,388,686 cedis, 52 pesos, which translates into almost 14 million US dollars. State institution defaulters. That state institutions who were in debt relative to power used came as a bit of a jolt, especially so against a news item sometime last year when the Vice President John Dramani Mahama advised all ministries, departments and agencies to change from postpaid to prepaid meters. The VIP's position was met with different reactions, and we're left wondering as of today what has become of it relative to whether it is being enforced and to what extent, because power debts of MDAs keep on rising as per the figures we run into. The defaulters among MDAs are so many and juicy a register that we would bring the top 10 entities owing in power debts and then take the lid off as many of them as we can later on. Top 10 state defaulters. Bong Waterworks, 12,749,926 cedis, 53 pesos. 37 Military Hospital, 1,456,538 cedis, 40 pesos. GWCL Rooster Station, 1,407,983 cedis, 56 pesos. Komfuanochi Teaching Hospital, 1,316,365 cedis, 31 pesos. Tema Oil Refinery, 1,192,367 cedis. Office of the President, 675,805 cedis, 55 pesos. State House, Parliament, 635,781 cedis, 31 pesos. Ghana Water, 617,105 cedis, 51 pesos. The Ghana Manganese Company, 553,929 cedis, 48 pesos. Police Headquarters, 393,736 cedis, 65 pesos. So, just 10 defaulting state institutions out of 100 others owed their fellow institution, the ECG, a whopping 20,999,539 cedis, 30 pesos, an equivalent of about $14 million. The list of ministries owing huge amounts with their ever-heaping power debts were as follows. Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, 524,924 cedis, 67 pesos. Ministry of Works and Housing, 70,839 cedis, 59 pesos. Ministry of Trade and Industry, 116,610 cedis, 58 pesos. Ministry of Defense, 8,814,284 cedis, 28 pesos. Ministry of Education, 214,685 cedis, 33 pesos. Ministry of Transport, 112,666 cedis, 88 pesos. We shall release the list for other ministries in due course. Other interesting defaulters on a regional basis were in Accra East, Pantan Hospital owed, flanked by the Ghana Standards Authority, the National Identification Authority, the Forestry Commission, Ghana Trade Fair Company, the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, and a host of others. In came the Elwak Military Barracks, the National Theatre, and National Film and Television Institute, NAFTI, who refused to be left out. Guess our last three candidates: VAT Service, Police Hospital, and the Controller and Accountant General's Department. In Accra West, here, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, wore the crown as lead defaulter with multiple accounts that added up to 657,225 cedis, 61 pesos. SNIT House, Trust Tower, Rich Tower, Office Shopping, and their Archives Department were all in the soup. Making an appearance in Accra West were the Cocoa Marketing Board, State Publishing and State Insurance Corporation. Completing the maze was the Ghana Rubber Company and the Environmental Protection Agency. In Tema, the very tall list included 2 accounts of the Tema Harbour Container Terminal plus 1 of the Golden Jubilee Terminal, Japon Textiles, Regional Maritime, and PSC Tema Shipyard, among several others, made the cut, as did the Tema Municipal Assembly. In the Western region, state institution defaulters included the likes of the Ghana Bauxite Company, the Ghana Railway Corporation, also refused to be left out. Others included the Air Force Senior Mess, the Ghana Manganese Company, the Ghana Rubber Estates Limited, twin accounts of the Ghana Water Company, and of course, the Secondary Fishing Harbour. Kumasi West, they saw half of their 4 candidates placed in the top 10 state institution defaulters, GWCL Rooster Station and Komfuanochi Teaching Hospital. The Ghana Cocoa Board and Kumasi Abattoir rounded up the roll call. What is irritating is the deliberate misuse of power by most officials of these institutions. Workers do not put off their air conditioners, shops around such government institutions tap power for free, and more. Tiger would soon show you how private businesses and individuals are tapping power from MDAs, all at the expense of the taxpayer. The patriotic entities. A few entities have refused to follow the pack in the non-payment of ECG bills. Nestle Ghana Limited extended their good food, good life policy to the ECG by paying their electricity bills, whilst Gasam Limited The nation builder made sure they were indeed building the nation by paying their electricity bills. Ghana International School GIS showed that indeed they understood the inner workings and needs of not only their students but also of Mother Ghana. They have paid all their bills and have done so on time too. Intravenous Infusions Limited are not only producing pharmaceutical products to better the health of Ghanaians but are also paying their ECG bills to help in the development of the nation. Big Brother Graphic Corporation are indeed ahead of the pack. Their ECG bills are paid on time. Praise must be given where it is due. Whereas Novotel Kumasi owes the ECG a huge amount of money, Novotel Accra has been good to the state by paying all their bills. Guinness Ghana Limited shows it has indeed got the power to pipe their rich dark Guinness by paying their ECG bills. The leading brewery in Ghana, Accra Brewery, exhibited their clear leadership by making sure they do not owe the ECG a penny. Farm milk is not only so nice in taste, it is also so nice to the ECG. It has settled all its bills. The Cocoa Research Institute had also paid up. Palm Development Company Limited also proved that they are not only concerned about the development of palm but also of the ECG. Your business is our business, says the National Investment Bank, and they are true to this. The business of ECG is theirs, so they have also paid up. The Cape Coasters, Amin Sangari Limited, realizes that the power they use for their production activity is not free, so they settle their ECG bills on time. By this, we call on those who have billing errors to go to the ECG headquarters to rectify those errors since they still exist on the database as defaulters. Closed and finalized accounts. A closed account is a terminology that denotes meters that are supposed to be taken out of the ECG system as a result of heaped debts that remains unpaid by the particular entity. The ECG is then expected to take legal action against those companies as a last resort. But more often than not, we realize that most of such meters supposedly off the ECG system were still active and entities and individuals were still using such meters without paying a dime to the state. We found hundreds of accounts that owe the ECG varying sums in closed accounts, meaning the particular entity or individual was no longer using meters but had also not paid off the debt that was tied to the meters as at the time they decided to stop the usage. The breakdown of trapped ECG funds in closed accounts was very worrying and a grave cause for concern. In Phase 3 of the President's assignment, we shall take you through the private ECG operators in the Army, in the Accra Mall and at Agbobloshi and Pram Pram, which banks are busily holding on to ECG cash paid to them by customers. We shall take you right into ECG boardroom where there are contract tales to be told, and with that, we turn off the lights on Phase 2. The third and final phase is out sooner than you expect, the ECG to turn on your lights. God bless our homeland Ghana. We have been blessed. It is up to us to make ourselves great and strong by doing the right thing.